You've been patient, you've waited, you've wanted it, and now here it is, live, legal, and ready to go. The Hot Rod Garage Malibu, or the Malibu. I promise you guys new content, and here it comes. So grab that cup of coffee or your rain, because I'm Paulie and this is Paulie's Power Hour. All right, for those of you that don't know what this is and where it comes from, before I do the walk around and walk through, I'll explain it to you. So this is a 1979 Chevrolet Malibu built by Hot Rod Garage. What is Hot Rod Garage? Well, if you don't have Motor Trend and you're into cars, I recommend getting it. There's a plethora of good shows on there, all kinds of good stuff. Hot Rod Garage being one of those shows. Host Tony Angelo, who's a hometown guy. He's from the same general vicinity I am, right outside of Philadelphia. And Lucky Costa, who just, seems like a genuinely nice guy, built this car on their show called Hot Rod Garage. Like I've said, like probably 10 times already. So now you're wondering, well, that's cool. It was built on a TV show, Paulie, but how is it that you have it? Now, that's a great question, because every day I drive this thing, I ask myself the same thing. So basically, from the way I understand it, is Tony Angelo bought it from Motor Trend, or their parent company, and ended up raffling it off in a sweepstakes. So basically, he made a bunch of stickers. You buy a sticker, you get entered into the sweepstakes to win the car. So I bought one sticker. I figure, I'll support the hometown guy. He seems like a genuinely nice guy off camera, on camera, off camera, whatever. Even if it's somebody else's camera, not Motor Trends or whatever. He just seems like a genuinely nice guy. All those hosts do. They're car guys, through and through. So I figured I'll support a cause. I'll buy a sticker. I'll never win the car, but I'll buy a sticker. So I bought the sticker. It came in the mail. I took a picture of it with Kit. I put it in my trailer, and I forgot all about it. And then 3 months later, I get a message on Instagram from Tony Angelo, who he's asking for my phone number. And I'm thinking he got hacked and it's going to be somebody asking me for money. Tony Angelo's in prison in London and needs $500 to get out. Please wire it to this address, right? Whatever. So I asked if it was really him. He sent me a selfie of him sitting on his couch. Gave him my number. He called me, let me know. I bought one sticker. I won the car. That's cool. That's great. I couldn't believe it. I think I said something like, you're crapping me, right? Like, I can't believe I won the car. And that brings us to today. This is supposed to be grandma's getaway car, right? Completely, unassuming, non-threatening, but all the magic is under the hood. So here we have a 6-liter LQ4 iron truck block with Speedmaster heads and a cam from Comp that I don't know what it is because I can't find the part number. They built this motor on an episode of Hot Rod Garage where they did a 2JZ versus LS versus Cummins shootout. And it was actually a really good episode. And the good thing about it is I know, except for the cam, what's in this motor. I also know what it made. On the dyno, it made 492 horsepower. That's awesome for a 6-liter, because stock these things make 300. So now we've got 192 horsepower boost with heads, cam, and this intake and throttle body, which is all from Holley EFI, right? So back here, it's got a brand new fuel tank, all QA1 suspension. That is a Curry Enterprises 9-inch rear with 389 gears, I believe. Hooker Blackheart exhaust system. TKO 600 5-speed, which is actually pretty good. I enjoy the 5-speed. This brand new tank is from a company called Tanks, and it's ceramic coated, so you'll never have to worry about it rusting. I do need to get underneath there and do some painting, because you know me and cleanliness and painting and everything else. It's gonna drive me nuts. So inside the car is where the magic and all the business occurs. Tony Angelo put in, because he's a drifter, he's a drift guy, he put in this sweet, I call it a yeet stick, because I learned what the word yeet meant, and I just love the fact that I can yank on this thing, and as the kids would say, yeet the car sideways. 5-speed manual, like I said, from American Powertrain. It's a really neat shifter he put in there. It's called White Lightning. Clutch pedal. I gotta put a brake. I gotta put a pad on that brake. I have it. It's in the ashtray. AM radio, which is awesome because I have one speaker here. That's what this is. It's my Bluetooth speaker, which serves as my radio while I'm driving around. Let's see. Holley EFI gauges. These go directly to the ECU, which is tucked under the floor or under the carpet there. Not my first choice, but really the only place to put it right now. And I'll go over that here in a little bit. Glove box. Glove box, same thing as Big Mama. I need to fix it the same way. But what I want to do is this box here is all my HVAC crap that they ripped out of the car. You don't really need any of that stuff anyway, especially if you do an LS swap. There's so many better ways to go, like vintage air. It comes in a smaller package, everything's self-contained. You run 2 lines through the firewall, and yeah, that's about it. You know, you run your 2 lines through the firewall, your AC compressor and a condenser up front. Easy day. So that's gonna go away, and I'm gonna get the blank off plate that goes here for the firewall, and the computer and all the relays are gonna mount to that. Obviously these heater controls don't work, so they're probably going to go away. I'll probably sell them on Facebook Marketplace on one of the G-Body pages and leave it blank, put a plate there, and do something until I put vintage air in here one day eventually. As far as you can see, so here I have temperature, air fuel ratio, I have my oil pressure gauge, which for some reason doesn't quite work properly. And then I have my trusty tachometer. What am I missing? I'm missing voltage, I'm missing fuel, which is a funny story, and I'm missing speed. So this is gonna go away. I'm gonna take all this out. This is gonna go away. I'm gonna put a plate here. I'm gonna get a GPS speedometer from Amazon. Hopefully it fits in here. I gotta measure. And a fuel gauge is going to go here, and then my voltmeter is going to go over here. And yep, and that should be it for the inside. Eventually one day I want to get one of those screens that Holley makes. It just plugs right into the computer, and you know, like Cletus McFarlane has one in all his cars, and it just comes across here and it puts all the gauges up there. You can customize it and make it look cool, but that's $800, $900, something like that. And it's money I don't feel like spending on this, but I can buy other things for it. So like I said, this car was built for a TV show, and at the end of the second episode they do this thing where they go to this abandoned neighborhood and they do like a police chase where Tony Angelo's driving. He was a professional driver, he was a professional racer, so he has skills, very good skills, by the way. Watch the episode, it's great. And then Lucky Costa gets in another project there. It's called the Crown Hick, which if you haven't watched that episode of Hot Rod Garage, watch it. Spoiler alert, it's awesome. Just the thing they do with this truck and car is amazing. So they drive it through this neighborhood and they really put this thing to the test. It's got, like I said, QA1 suspension, you know, the 5-speed, the drift brake, everything. And they make a production out of it. It's really cool. But so just like everything else you do when you build a car, right, you kind of prioritize a list. My list actually blew away. I have to go get it. But not everything was 100% done. Okay, so let's go through the things that weren't done. So one of the things I did was I changed these. They had like a bolt with a nut to kind of press all the wires and everything together. That's no big deal. I did say I was going to fix that before it left me stranded, and I didn't. And the alternator wire actually shorted through here wasn't making good enough contact and the battery died on me, and it left me sit. So, you know, when you say you're going to fix something, you should fix it before it leaves you stranded. Outside of that, I mean, this I had to fix right here. There wasn't a whole lot of space between this and the pulley. There is now. It's actually about twice as much. It was close. And another thing is the lower rad hose here. As you can see, it's kind of touching, which is no big deal. They put that patch on it and it's temporary. I am going to change it. I have a spring bendable lower hose that should get me away from this. I mean, the wiring is all done nicely. They put it in this snake skin to protect it, which is great. I did have to fix the fans. The fans were triggered by something, I don't know what. They were ground triggered for some reason. So I just kind of rewired, and I went to the fuse box for key on power, and I rewired the ground of the relay to right here. But now the fans work, and that's great. Now, like I said, the computer is tucked right here. I'm not going to pull it down because it's kind of a pain to get back up there in there. So would I have put it there? Probably not. But they built the car, 1, on a schedule, 2, on a budget, and 3, you know, I can't tell you how many times I do something and then I'm like, crap, I should have got that on camera, and I got to go back and do it again, and you get another take. And I can only imagine what those guys go through on a professional level. Like, I am nowhere near professional. I have a GoPro and a couple of cars, right? And a laptop with some free editing software. So, you know, there's time constraints, there's budgets, there's this, there's that. You don't always have time for everything. And it's the exact same thing for your average car person, right? Oh, I got to get to the show. I'll twist these 2 wires together and tape them, and I'll fix it later. And then what do? You don't fix it later, and it leaves you sit on the side of the road. So, where they spent money, they spent the money. The car is 99.9% complete, right? There's just little piddly things that I have to fix, and I am not mad about it by any stretch of the imagination. So driving this thing is pretty cool. I will say that, you know, 50% of the people I come across recognize the car for what it is, and the other 50% just, you know, think it's a really cool sleeper. And that's what it is. It is a really cool sleeper. Like, it's surreal to drive, you know, just knowing that it was built on a TV show and now I own it. It's kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. You're going to see a lot of this because I got a lot of stuff I want to get done with it. And once we stop, I'll go through some of it, kind of take you through where my mindset is of what I want to do with it. This is the car I won. Come on. So good. So now that we've revisited the past, let's talk about the future. So here is the list of some of the things that I would like to get done with this car. Like GPS speedometer, so I know how fast I'm going. Tune, which I'm working on now, I'm doing it myself. Parking brake cables, have no parking brake. Brake pedal pad, positive and negative cables. Fuel gauge, I've run this thing out of gas. My buddy and I were cruising in it the other day, and sure enough, it spits, it sputters, it shuts off, and we're like, well, what the heck? And I said, you know, the last time it did this, it was low on gas. So it left us sit. We had to walk to my buddy's house, get a gas can in his truck, went back, put gas in it, fired right up, off we went. Fuel gauge is going to be on the top of my priority list. So it goes all the way down here to like lower rad hose, clean up a little bit of the wiring under the hood, fuel pressure to ECU. I got to call Holly and ask if it needs it. Fix the fans I've already done, overflow tank I've already done, exhaust leaks, I got to look into it. Maybe I have some. It sounds like I do. Positive, negative battery cables, stuff like that. Hook up the PCV, little things. So yeah, everything I do from here on forward, I'm going to have the camera out here. I'm going to document. No matter what happens, no matter where it leaves me sit on the side of the road, we're going to document it. We're going to do it all together. Because that's the name of the game, and that's why you're here. To follow along with this journey, to do the things that, don't do the things that I do that would cause you to get stuck on the side of the road. So I hope you enjoyed the intro to the Malibu. Well, I'm just going to keep calling it the Malibu because that's what it is. Or hashtag HRG Malibu if you want to follow it on Instagram or whatever. So follow me on the social medias. You'll see pictures of it as I go. And yeah, all I can say is I hope you had fun. Smash that like button, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, because without you and your friends, this isn't nothing. So y'all keep it between the ditches and you come back and see me.